Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. My name's Tim, the Toy Time King, and basically today's video I wanted to talk about the PU Viability Rankings. So what made me want to just make this video, like talking about the discussion video on the PU Viability Rankings, is I was just on my phone in the chat on my way home, and there were some people just talking about it was mostly PTF, the user called PTF, that made me want to talk about this video, because I wanted to talk about the viability rankings and how just talking about in general, like the changes that I would believe would be nice in the viability rankings to be general, because I do think, in my opinion, that the lower ranks are like need a huge like change. In my opinion, like a lot of the mons in the lower rank are just not as viable as they used to be, and like just sort of organizing it to better represent the our current meta right now would be a good plan. So I'm just here to talk about some changes as well and have some few discussion points on some mons in the viability rankings. So if you guys enjoy this video, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more content. So obviously, I was talking about the lower ranks, but obviously we're gonna start at the top and work our way down just in general, so I can cover the whole of the viability rankings. So in S rank, you have Mesprit, Skuntank, and Jellison, our newest addition to the S rank tier. And to be honest, I don't have a lot to say about Mesprit and Skuntank, because if you play PU, you know why these two mons are S tier. But Jellison, PTF, he brought up some really solid point. Like his main argument was, why isn't Aggron S when Jellison is S? And he was saying that Jellison is a special Aggron, which is basically a special version of Aggron, and they both do quite similar things. And to be honest, they both do wall break. But the reason why I'm thinking that Jellison moved up to S and not Aggron is that Aggron has a lot of flaws, major flaws that, like, it's still a very good mon, don't get me wrong, but its flaws are keeping it from being even better. Because number one, its typing isn't the best defensively, quite bad. Having two quad weaknesses to fighting and ground isn't nice to have in the slightest. And when fighting is such a common typing, because you think about it like this: Mesco is the most ubiquitous mon of PU. Obviously, dark types. That's why Skuntank's so high, because it's one of the best checks to Skuntank, to Mesprit, my bad. So Psychic loses to Dark. So what does Dark lose to? Fighting. We have a lot of really good fighting mons, specifically Gerda and Hitmonchan, our best two fightings in my opinion. And guess what? Aggron has a really tough matchup against both of them, to be honest, because Aggron isn't hitting Gerda too much, like unless it's a banded set, because not everyone uses banned Aggron, so that's the point. Like if you have the defensive Aggron, you just can lose to Gerda in that matchup, because you don't want to stay in, or else you're gonna get killed. Or if you attack it, it's just wasting a turn, and you could just potentially set up bulk up. So Aggron has a really bad fighting matchup, which I'm trying to get at basically. But Jellison has the better typing, really good defensive typing in War and Ghost, only having 4 weaknesses. Even though one of those weaknesses is a common dark typing, it doesn't really mean too much, to be honest, because War and Ghost is just such a better typing than Steel Rock if you think about it. A good amount of resistances, to be honest, and yeah, Jellison is more safer to use than Aggron, and I think that Jellison does deserve to be S. And like, I was surprised at the fact that I actually got to S rank. You know, I thought it would be a solid contender for A plus, but we see an S rank now. And just going back to PTS point about why isn't Aggron S, I just don't think Aggron is S rank material, because it is, like, if you think about S rank in a metagame, whether that's OU, UU, RU, NU, any other tier, smoke on metagame, the S rank are the best of the best mons in that tier. They're quite easy to fit on teams, they're quite easy to use, and they're really successful, and that's why they're in that tier, in that rank in the viability rankings. Aggron. Aggron is harder to use than all three of the S rank mons. Does have more major flaws than the S rank mons, and I just feel like A plus is fine for Aggron, to be honest. And on that point, he did mention something about having an S minus rank, but I don't agree with an S minus rank, because to be honest, it would only be Jellison, and I'm probably assuming he wanted Aggron to be in that S minus rank, but it just doesn't seem necessary, and adding extra ranks when it's not really necessary, I don't really see the point. But anyways, moving down from the S rank, we got A plus mons, and our A plus mons have really filled up thanks to the new drops just recently over the past couple of months. Even when I was gone, we got drops like Quillfish and the new drops Frostlass. So obviously here I don't have a problem with the A plus mons. These are basically the mons that aren't S, and I completely agree with every single one of these picks. So I don't think any of them should drop, to be honest. So I think A plus is quite solid right now. Moving down to a smaller sub rank to A plus. But anyways, we still got ones like Omastar, Lantern, Jinx, Clefairy, and Alolan Sandslash. Like as I think as long as Aurorus always stays good, Alolan Sandslash is always slowly following behind it, because it is a solid sweeper on the hill, and it does a good job at even removing hazards as well. So it has utility as well. So I think it's always going to have a really high viability in PU as long as Aurora stays popular. But one mon that is quite controversial right now is Clefairy. A lot of people are probably wanting this mon to drop because apparently I missed like a lot of things that made I missed Clefairy's downfall, to be honest. Like obviously Ferroclef meta, this thing was at its peak, probably A plus. It was A plus at that point, and Ferroseed was S. I think Ferroseed made up to S. I can't recall. But anyways, Ferroclef was very strong, and Clefairy was strong as well. But after Ferroseed moved up to NU, and Clefairy just started downwardly declining because of mons like Aggron rising in usage, and yeah, it's quite weak to Aggron, and it just got worse over time, to be honest. That's all I'm saying. And it doesn't really stack up to the rest of the A rank mons, because Lantern is quite solid, Omastar is really good, Shell Smash is a devastating sweeper, Alolan Sandslash is good, and Stoutland is a good wall breaker as well, and it just doesn't it's not, it does have the same standard as those mons basically. So Clefairy could probably drop. Moving on to A minus, another big sub rank here, which I think honestly some mons could move up from A minus to A at least. Maybe replace Clefairy, because mons like Alolan Executor, Electros, Hitmon, Chan, even Urukuru, Sensu, and possibly Poliwrath, they could all move up to A, to be honest, because I think they're really quite solid picks right now, especially Electros. If it does face competition from Lantern, but these mons are quite similar. If you're looking for more tanky pivot, then you have Lantern. But if you want a more offensive one, Electros, and I do think they should be in the same tier at this point. Alolan Executor, it's gotten better. If Clefairy drops, then it has a higher chance of it spamming more of its Draco Meteors, which it really likes doing, because the spec set just kills anything that doesn't resist it. So it's quite strong. So I do think it deserves A. Hitmonchan as well, again another fighting type, with these two as the premier wall breakers even, and it can hit Jellicent with Thunder Punch. I do think Hitmonchan should move up. I honestly believe that. But the rest of the mons, Quagsire ended up in A minus on new drop. Quagsire is quite solid honestly, and Cypher, from what I've seen, like Cypher is very good. It's not as good as the rest of the mons up here, obviously, but it's still quite solid as well. And that's all I have for the whole of A, to be honest. Now, we're going to be moving on into B. Now, B is the middle rankings, so I don't think B need as much changes as C. Like, C needs the bottom C and D rank need a whole overhaul, but I'll get onto that later. Just looking at B+, Golurk, that thing could probably drop, because it's just, I'm sorry to say, but Golurk has been getting really like bad lately. Like just having really low speed, not enough power sometimes. Like you always lose to Aurorus if you're not running Jolly, and even then, at that point, if you see a Golurk, assume it's running Jolly, and you swap out into something that Golurk actually can't beat, because it's just too weak. Like it doesn't get high powered stab. Like think about it. I can see what PTF, again, coming back to Jellicent and Aggron in terms of their ranks, they get high powered stab moves. That's why they do so much damage. But Golurk, it just, the only strong move it actually gets is Earthquake, and we have a lot of mons that can easily just check ground moves. A lot of levitate mons, like Mesprit, Weezing, like this, and even the flying mons as well. So it's pretty hard for Golurk to spam his ground stab, and Shadow Punch isn't that strong, even with Iron Fist, to be honest. So, and Rotom Frost, this thing has been coming up as well. Another alternate pivot with Volt Switch, and it actually has good natural bulk. Like its stats, like it has 100 above 100 in its defenses. It might have a bad HP, but using one of the berries that like increase itself, Iapapa berry, Agua berry, you guys know those berries. Uh, it's quite good. I think it could move up to A minus. To be honest, maybe I'm not saying replace Mons, but Spiritom's dropped in usage and has gotten a bit worse. So has Swanna in a sense as well. So uh, that thing could move up. I think that thing could move up. B tier, not too much here. Like again, B doesn't need too many changes. Yeah. B minus. Look at B minus. Some of these could drop. Some of these could drop. I think Puku could drop because it's still the stall matchup is still there to be honest. But we do have a lot of wall breakers, and wall breakers can have a better matchup against stall. But yeah, that's what I got for B. Now here it comes down to C, where I think we need to unrank quite a few mons here. Not gonna lie, either D rank them or like unrank them at this point. Because let's start with C minus, because this is basically on the edge of unviability at this point. Driftblim, why like it gets outclassed as an offensive ghost by pretty much Haunter and Jellicent. Uh, its defenses are quite bad. Stealth Rock's weakness, like not why use Driftblim when you can use anything else. Even Mischievous, you could use Mischievous over Driftblim. Even Golurk over Driftblim. There's no actual solid reasoning to actually use Driftblim at all. Metang again outclassed as Stealth Rocker and Tank by Aggron, Mudsdale. There's no reason to actually use this Pokemon. Natu as well. Has a very bad typing in this tier. Weak to such common offensive typings coming from our top two wall breakers, Aurorus and Aggron. This just doesn't survive in this meta. The meta is not kind to at all. And then these two, they like I can go on about the whole of C minus and say they're just niche mons, but you guys like Shakula and Smeagol have just such a small niche in setting up hazards like webs and stealth rock, but no one uses them, and it's quite hard to justify them on the team. They're quite hard to fit on teams. Like some of these mons, like I don't even understand why they're C. Like if you look at C, in my opinion, this is my opinion. Like you don't have to agree with me. Like obviously, if you disagree with me, like type down in the comments what you disagree with. Honestly, I'd like to hear what you guys thought of this video. But anyways, the ones I think shouldn't be C, definitely this. This should just be unranked. Red Ice could still stay. Stunfisk, like Toucannon, it's not bad. Like it's just not too optimal, but it's still C. The only one in C, honestly, I would say should be unranked is freaking Dusknoir. I don't see what this thing does in this tier. It doesn't achieve anything. Like I just don't understand. Then look at C plus. There's just C is just a niche tier. Like we can keep it here, but moving on to D now. Mario God, he told me that we should get rid of D, and now that I look at freaking D tier, I think it's not necessary because at this point C is where the niche mons reside, and if D rank is lower than C, where all the freaking niche mons are, all these mons are just extremely niche to the point where why are they even on the viability rankings? Like Cacturn. There's no reason to use Cacturn. Cacturn is not a viable Pokemon at all. Like, sure, you could say it has a very strong sucker punch against offense. What's about it? Like, this thing straight up loses to Gerda. Like, having a 4 times bug weakness is nice, where there's a lot of U-turn. And, yeah, Cypher kills this thing. Cypher 100% kills this thing. Like, it doesn't... Like, I don't think it KOs. With Sucker Punch, especially with Eviolite. So this thing just straight up loses to Cypher. This only has a niche on Trick Room. There's no reason to use Behem out of Trick Room whatsoever. No reason. Delusion. I know how much Ubiski loves this mon, but again, there's no reason to actually use this mon in any circumstance. Hippopotas, Sand is already bad. Like with Aurora setting up Hail most of the time, because you're running Snow Warning. This thing has no niche. Unrank it. Unrank this as well. I do like there are some mons that I think shouldn't be unranked, and I think that's just from preference instead of viability. But if you think about it, in my opinion, Noctowl, Rampardos, Basculin, maybe Ditto, and Simise and Wishy Washy should all at least be in the C tier, and then the rest of D rank gets abolished at this point because they're just not optimal mons to use on teams. They're very hard. They need a lot of support, which isn't really worth it when you can use pretty much any mon in S, A, and B, and you'll be getting a greater time. So yeah, that's all I have to say really about the viability rankings for PU. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys agree or tell me in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with what I've said in this video, and I'll listen to what you have to say, to be honest, because again, I've just come back into mons. If you think this guy's just saying shit like he doesn't know what he's talking about, or like I know that you're back but you haven't gotten back into real things, tell me. I don't really mind, as long as you can give me like some solid reasonings to why like you disagree with me, or like anything else that you want to add to this discussion. I'll be really glad to hear what you guys have to say. But anyways, yeah, again guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Again, I have to remind you guys, PU A to Z Agron's coming up, so if you guys have any Agron teams to give me, please don't hesitate to give them to me. But thank you guys for watching this video. Leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.